Have you ever felt as though you're caught in a loop, a cycle of familiar habits, lingering doubts, and quiet fears that seem impossible to escape? There's a part of you, an old self shaped by uncertainty and hesitation, that you've carried for far too long. And perhaps, without even realizing it, that self has become a cage. In the wisdom of the Buddha, we are reminded that liberation begins with the courage to release this old self, to let it fall away like leaves from a tree in autumn. Today, you stand at the threshold of something greater. You are here to shed the layers that no longer reflect who you truly are. You are not meant to remain hidden in the shadows of what was. You are meant to rise, radiant and unshakable, into the light of your true potential. Together, let us begin this sacred path of transformation. Lesson 1. Release or be bound. The Buddha spoke a truth that echoes across centuries. You only lose what you cling to. When we grasp too tightly to the past, to old identities, to painful memories, to stories of failure, we don't protect ourselves. Instead, we bind ourselves to suffering. Imagine carrying a heavy sack wherever you go, filled with regrets, betrayals, missed chances, and those quiet voices that whisper, "I'm not worthy. I can't succeed." The longer you carry this weight, the harder it is to walk forward. Like trying to run with stones tied to your feet, it wears you down and keeps you from reaching the places where your soul longs to go. But there is another way: letting go. To release your hold on these burdens is to offer yourself the gift of freedom. When you stop clinging to what no longer serves you, you step into the present with clarity and lightness. The old fears no longer control you. The old stories no longer define you. Choosing to let go is not giving up. It is trusting in your own unfolding. It is believing that who you are becoming matters far more than what you were. When you loosen your grip on the past, the future opens like a flower in the morning sun. You were never meant to carry the weight of what's behind you. You were meant to soar, unburdened and free. Lesson 2. The fire that reveals the true self. Each day, without thinking, we put on a mask, not one of cloth, but of identity. It's the mask we hope will keep us safe. The mask of approval seeking, of hiding our true strength, of pretending to be what others expect. This mask may have helped you once. It may have shielded you when you felt fragile. But now, it conceals your true nature. Buddhist teachings remind us that this mask, the ego, is like a mirage. It promises safety, but delivers isolation. It convinces us that we must be someone else to be worthy. But all along, it is just a story woven from fear, doubt, and the illusion of separation. The path to freedom is not about building a better mask. It is about removing what is false. The layers you've added over time, the need to please, the fear of rejection, the armor of pretense. These are not who you are. To burn away this false self, return to stillness. Close your eyes. Feel the rhythm of your breath. With each inhale, imagine the mask softening. With each exhale, see it fall away, piece by piece, like petals released by the wind. As these layers dissolve, what remains is the real you, whole, strong, and luminous. You do not need to chase approval or wear a mask to be enough. Beneath it all, you have always been worthy. Let go of the illusion. Let your true light shine, unhidden, into the world. Lesson 3. Starve the mind that seeks comfort. Within each of us lives a voice that clings to comfort, that whispers of ease, delay, and distraction. This is the mind that avoids the difficult path, that chooses what is soft over what is meaningful. In Buddhist teachings, this part of us resembles the hungry ghost, a restless spirit endlessly searching for satisfaction, yet never finding it. The hungry ghost is always longing for more rest, for more pleasure, for just one more moment of escape. It tells you to stay where it's easy, where you don't have to stretch or struggle. And yet, no matter how much you give it, no matter how many distractions, comforts, or indulgences, it remains empty. Like a jar with no bottom, it can never be filled. The more you listen to this voice, the stronger it becomes. It convinces you to delay your dreams. It whispers, "Not now. Later is better. Today you can rest. Tomorrow you'll begin." And slowly, without realizing it, you remain in the same place, circling the same patterns. But here is the path to freedom. Stop feeding the mind that seeks only comfort. The next time this voice tempts you to postpone, to retreat, to hide, meet it with a gentle smile and say, "No, not today." Refuse to offer it what it craves. When you starve this mind, it begins to lose its grip. In its place, the strong mind awakens, the mind that endures, that rises, that continues, even when the road is steep. Each time you choose strength over softness, discipline over delay, you nourish this resilient part of yourself. With practice, the old voice grows quieter, the empty longings fade, and what remains is a mind that is steady, focused, and capable. A mind that no longer chases comfort at the expense of growth, but one that walks the path with purpose. So choose today. Stop feeding what weakens you. Begin nurturing what makes you whole. The transformation will surprise you. The strength was always within you, waiting to be claimed. Lesson 4. Embrace discomfort as your teacher. In the modern world, we are taught to flee from discomfort at every turn. The slightest unease, and we rush to drown it out, with noise, with distraction, with the fleeting comforts of entertainment, food, or empty pleasures. We have forgotten that discomfort is not our enemy. It is, in truth, one of our greatest teachers on the path of awakening. Buddhist wisdom invites us to pause and see discomfort not as something to resist, but as a messenger. When discomfort appears, whether it comes in the form of fear, uncertainty, or emotional pain, it is pointing us toward a place within that longs for healing, strength, and growth. It is not a curse, it is an invitation. The discomfort of effort, the sting of vulnerability, the restlessness of the unknown, these are not signs of weakness. They are signs that you are alive, that you are stepping beyond the borders of comfort, where true transformation begins. So what do we do when discomfort arises? We sit with it. We breathe. We witness. Instead of turning away, we turn inward. With each breath, we observe what arises: the tightness in the chest, the knot in the stomach, the thoughts that clamor for escape. But we do not judge. We do not react. We simply allow what is to be. In this stillness, something profound happens. We begin to see that discomfort is not permanent. It rises, it passes. It is not who we are. The mind learns it does not need to fear discomfort, nor be ruled by it. And in that gentle witnessing, the storm loses its power. The more you practice this, the more you allow discomfort to flow through you without resistance, the stronger and freer you become. Like a muscle that grows with use, your capacity to face life's challenges expands. The moments that once overwhelmed you now feel smaller, less threatening. Discomfort is not failure. It is not weakness. It is the fire in which strength is forged. So instead of fleeing, lean in. Let discomfort guide you to your deeper resilience, to the strength that was always within you. In the space where you once felt fear, you will find peace. In the stillness where you once felt trapped, you will find your power. Choose to sit with discomfort. In doing so, you walk the path of mastery, of your emotions, your thoughts, and your life itself. Lesson 5. Die before you die. At first, it may sound unsettling. Die before you die. But within these words lies one of the most profound teachings of the Buddha. This is not about the end of your physical existence. It is about something far deeper. The willingness to surrender, right now, the parts of yourself that no longer serve the truth of who you are meant to become. Each of us carries with us the weight of an old identity, a mask of fears, regrets, and worn-out beliefs that cling like shadows. These are the labels handed to us by the world. Not good enough, unworthy, a failure, too broken to heal. And over time, we begin to believe them. We wrap ourselves in these stories as if they define us, but they do not. To die before you die is to awaken. It is to step out of the prison of these old identities and allow them to fall away, like autumn leaves making room for spring. It is to let the parts of you that are rooted in fear, attachment, and illusion dissolve, so that what is true and eternal within you can rise. This death of the false self is not easy. It asks you to stand face to face with everything you've been afraid to release. The relationships that no longer nourish your soul. The habits that chain you to suffering. The thoughts that whisper, "You are not enough." It asks you to lay them down, even when they feel familiar, because in clinging to them, you deny yourself the fullness of your own life. But there is beauty here, because when you choose this inner death, you are also choosing rebirth. You are choosing to rise from the ashes of what no longer serves you. Every morning becomes a sacred opportunity to shed the past, to leave behind yesterday's doubts, mistakes, and sorrows, and to step forward lighter, freer, and closer to your true nature. You do not have to wait for some distant day to transform. You can die to the old self now, in this breath, in this moment. And with every breath that follows, you can be reborn, again and again, more aligned, more awake, more whole. Understand this. Life is not about endlessly adding layers to become someone else. It is about gently peeling away everything that is not you, until what remains is pure, authentic, and radiant. When you let go of what keeps you small, you find that you were never small to begin with. By choosing to die before you die, you choose to truly live, to walk through this world unbound by the chains of the past, unafraid of letting go, and wide open to the endless possibilities that each new moment offers. In this way, you taste the sweetness of freedom long before your final breath. And in that freedom, you come home to yourself. Lesson 6. Build a mind like a mountain. The old version of you is like a fragile leaf caught in the wild winds of life, pushed and pulled by every fleeting emotion, every unexpected event, every storm of thought that sweeps across your mind. A single harsh word, a sudden challenge, a minor setback, and you find yourself adrift, untethered, and lost in the whirl of the world. You begin to feel as though you are at the mercy of forces beyond your control, overwhelmed by the endless rise and fall of life's tides. But the awakened self, the self that has tasted the truth of inner peace, is like a mountain, towering, still, unshaken. A mountain does not tremble at the storm's roar, nor does it bow to the force of the rain. It stands in quiet strength, witnessing the seasons pass, unmoved by the ever-changing skies. In the teachings of Buddhism, the mind is likened to this mountain, capable of remaining firm and grounded, even as life's storms rage on around it. The mind that is anchored in awareness does not rise and fall with each passing emotion. It does not fracture under pressure. Instead, it remains serene, steady as the earth itself, able to see clearly, even when the world is in chaos. But this state of mind is not gifted in a moment. It is built slowly, with intention, patience, and practice, like carving a mountain from stone with your own two hands. To build such a mind, you must first cultivate mental discipline, not through force or denial, but through gentle mastery. Just as a mountain does not sway at every gust, your mind must learn not to be tossed about by every passing thought, or stirred by every fear. When the world tries to shake your center, ask yourself, do I choose to be ruled by this storm, or do I choose to stand above it? The path is to stop reacting blindly to the winds of life, and instead, pause, breathe, observe. In that sacred pause, you reclaim your power. It begins with mindfulness, the art of remaining present, the practice of witnessing without grasping or rejecting. Like the mountain that watches clouds pass, you learn to watch your thoughts and emotions arise and dissolve without becoming entangled in their fleeting forms. When anxiety or anger stirs within you, take a breath. Feel it fully, but do not give it the power to control you. Remember, you are not the storm. You are the mountain watching the storm come and go. Building a mind like a mountain means training yourself in focus and clarity. A mountain does not chase after clouds or winds, it simply is. So too, you must teach your mind to rest in what truly matters. Let go of distractions. Let go of what pulls your attention in 1,000 directions. Direct your energy toward your values, your purpose, the quiet truths that endure beyond the noise. This is the gift of meditation, a sacred space where you return again and again to stillness. In meditation, you sharpen the blade of your awareness. You learn to see clearly, to decide wisely, to stand calmly, even when life's storms beat against you. A mountain does not question its purpose when the storm comes. It does not wonder whether to remain or fall. It simply stands, and so must you. To build this mind is to nurture emotional resilience. The mountain does not crumble because the storm is fierce. It remains steady, knowing that storms pass. So too, when faced with loss, criticism, or failure, learn to rise above your immediate reactions. Instead of falling into anger, despair, or confusion, respond with patience, compassion, and wisdom. Emotional resilience is the art of choosing not to let the outer world dictate the state of your inner world. As you continue this path, you will notice a shift. The winds will still blow, but they will not shake you. The storms will still come, but you will not fear them. You will find within yourself a peace so deep, a strength so enduring, that nothing external can break it. You will move through life with clarity and grace, navigating challenges that once seemed overwhelming with calm and quiet certainty. Remember always, the mountain does not fear the storm, and neither should you. For the more you cultivate the mind of the mountain, the more you will discover that you too can stand tall and unshaken through all of life's uncertainties. Let the storms come. Let the winds roar. You will remain grounded in truth, unmovable in strength, and at peace with all that is. Lesson 7. Rebirth is a daily practice. Rebirth is not some distant event that waits for you at the end of a long road, nor is it reserved for moments of great crisis or dramatic change. Rebirth is a quiet offering, present at the break of every dawn. Each day, life hands you the gift of a fresh beginning, a chance to shed what no longer serves you and to awaken, once more, to your true nature. In the teachings of Buddhism, this daily rebirth is one of the most sacred and transformative practices. For it reminds us that transformation is not something we must wait for. It is something we can choose, here and now, in this very breath. Too often, we believe that change is tied to milestones, the end of a relationship, the start of a new job, the crossing of some grand threshold. But real growth, real awakening, happens not in those rare moments, but in the quiet, steady choices we make each day. Every sunrise invites you to leave behind the burdens of yesterday, the fears, the regrets, the doubts, and step into the light of who you are meant to become. This is the path of daily rebirth. This is the way of the awakened heart. Each morning, you are given a sacred choice: to cling to the stories and identities that have outlived their purpose, or to release them with compassion and walk forward unbound. Buddhism teaches that our suffering often comes from this clinging, the attachments to what was, to who we once believed ourselves to be. These attachments are like heavy stones, weighing us down, keeping us from moving freely along the path of our highest self. But you have the power, each day, to set these stones down. This does not mean erasing the past or pretending it did not shape you. It means choosing not to let the past dictate who you are today. The past is behind you, a chapter that has already been written. What matters is the story you choose to write now. With each sunrise, you are free to begin again. The practice of daily rebirth begins with gentle awareness. As the day begins, take a quiet moment to look within. Ask yourself, what old patterns am I still carrying? What stories no longer reflect the truth of who I am? What fears or habits am I ready to lay down at the feet of this new day? With honest awareness, you shine a light on the attachments that keep you bound. And in that light, they begin to lose their grip. From awareness, you move to intention. Every morning, set a sacred intention to become the most authentic, courageous, and compassionate version of yourself. You do not need to transform your entire life in one day, but by planting the seed of intention, you point your heart toward your true north. Let this intention guide your thoughts, your choices, your actions. Like the Buddha touching the earth, let your intention anchor you in the present and remind you of the path you walk. But intention alone is not enough. Rebirth requires action. It asks that you move beyond thought, beyond wish, into the realm of doing. Each day, take a small step that reflects your new self. It might be choosing kindness over anger, courage over fear, wisdom over reaction. It might be as simple as pausing to take a deep breath before you speak, or as profound as letting go of an old grudge that has darkened your heart. In these small acts, rebirth becomes real. And as you walk this path, remember that true transformation is not a sudden storm that changes the landscape overnight. It is the slow, steady work of rain carving stone, of roots growing deep beneath the earth. There will be days when you stumble, when old patterns return. When this happens, meet yourself not with judgment, but with gentle compassion. Each breath is a chance to begin again. Each moment is a doorway back to your true path. The more you practice daily rebirth, the more you will feel the chains of the past loosening. The old fears and doubts that once seemed so powerful will begin to fade. You will find yourself responding to life with greater clarity, greater strength, greater love. You will see that you are not trapped by what was. You are free to shape what is and what will be. So, embrace this sacred practice. Let every sunrise be a reminder that you are born anew. Leave behind what no longer serves you. Step forward with courage into the new day. In doing so, you will become a living expression of growth, freedom, and transformation, a soul in harmony with the ever-unfolding dance of life. Every day is a new beginning. Every day is a rebirth. Seize it. Lesson 8. Embrace the power of consistency and small steps. In a world that moves at lightning speed, a world that glorifies instant gratification and dramatic breakthroughs, we are often led to believe that true transformation must be immediate and grand. We long for sudden change, for powerful moments that make us feel as though we are leaping ahead on our path. But in truth, the most lasting and profound growth flows from a source far humbler, far quieter, the power of consistency and the quiet magic of small, steady steps. In the wisdom of Buddhism, we are reminded that it is not the bursts of effort that shape our destiny, but the gentle, deliberate actions we choose each day. The smallest of steps, repeated with care and devotion, build a foundation stronger than any momentary surge of energy ever could. Think of the bamboo tree. For years, its growth is hidden beneath the soil. Its roots stretch deep and wide, strengthening in silence, unseen by the eye. There is no rush, no demand for recognition. And then, when the time is right, the bamboo rises, tall, unwavering, resilient. Just like the bamboo, your own growth may at times seem invisible. But know this: each small, consistent action is sending roots deep into the ground, preparing you to rise with unshakable strength. Buddhism calls this the path of gradual cultivation, the understanding that transformation is a journey of many small moments, not a single leap. The Buddha's words echo this truth. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and with every gentle step you take, you are walking this sacred journey, even if the progress feels slow or unseen. It is easy to grow disheartened when change does not come quickly. But remember, true change is not an event. It is a process, unfolding in its own perfect time. Your task is not to force it, but to remain faithful to the path. The small actions you take today, the quiet choices made in moments of mindfulness, are what build a future of strength and peace. Every small step creates momentum. Like stones laid one by one, they form the foundation of a life well lived. At first, a single stone may seem insignificant, but as you place one after another, day by day, something solid, something enduring, begins to take shape. This is the quiet power of small steps. They gather and grow until one day you look back and see how far you have come. Consider the small habits that nourish your soul. A few minutes of meditation at dawn, a single act of kindness, a mindful breath in a moment of stress. These may seem like small offerings, but over time, they weave the fabric of a life rooted in wisdom, compassion, and strength. Consistency is what builds the muscle of self-discipline, and self-discipline, in turn, leads to mastery. Not mastery over others, but mastery over your own mind and heart. Small steps also help you remain grounded in the present moment. When you release the need to rush ahead, you free yourself from the burden of anxiety about the future or regret over the past. You focus on what you can do today, this hour, this moment. And in that presence, you find clarity, peace, and purpose. The beauty of small steps is that they shield you from the flames of burnout. When we try to force rapid change, we often exhaust ourselves. We become disillusioned, overwhelmed, and discouraged. But when we break our goals into gentle, manageable pieces, we create a path that is sustainable, a rhythm that nurtures rather than depletes. We allow ourselves space to breathe, to reflect, and to grow at a pace that honors our true nature. Consistency builds a sacred trust within. Each time you show up for yourself, even in the smallest way, you affirm your strength. You prove to yourself that you are capable, dependable, and worthy of your own care. Over time, this self-trust becomes a quiet, steady flame, one that lights your way even in the darkest of times. And let us not forget, every small step is a victory. In our hunger for grand achievements, we often overlook the quiet triumphs that pave the way. But these moments matter. Each gentle effort, each mindful choice, is a testament to your courage and your commitment to the path. Celebrate them. Give thanks for them. Let them fuel your journey forward. So, embrace this wisdom. Consistency and small steps are not a detour from growth. They are the path itself. Do not let the world's noise distract you from the quiet power of steady progress. Focus on what is before you today. Trust that every small action is a seed, and in time, these seeds will bloom into a life of deep strength, resilience, and joy. Your transformation will not come like a storm. It will come like the dawn, gentle but unstoppable, one small step at a time. Bonus lesson: the art of returning to the path. No matter how committed we are to growth, no matter how disciplined we try to be, there will be moments when we stumble. We may lose our way, fall back into old habits, or feel as if all our progress has slipped through our fingers. And in these moments, it's easy to feel defeated, to believe that we have failed. But here is a truth that Buddhism gently teaches us. What defines your path is not whether you fall, but how lovingly and mindfully you return. Every journey will have detours. Every heart will have moments of forgetfulness. This is not weakness. It is part of being human. What matters most is your willingness to return, again and again, to your center, to your intention, to your truth. Think of a river flowing through a mountain. Sometimes the water is blocked by stones, sometimes it swirls in an eddy, but always it finds its way forward. In the same way, your path of growth is not a straight line. It bends, it pauses, it meanders, but it continues as long as you are willing to return to it. When you lose your way, don't meet yourself with harshness or judgment. Instead, Practice compassion for yourself. Take a deep breath. Acknowledge where you are without shame or blame. And with that breath, gently guide yourself back. This practice of returning builds resilience. It teaches you that you don't have to be perfect to walk a path of wisdom. You simply need to be kind to yourself and committed to beginning again, no matter how many times it takes. So, let this be your bonus lesson. Make peace with imperfection and master the art of returning. Every time you return, you strengthen your spirit. Every time you choose to begin again, you become more patient, more compassionate, more free. You are not defined by the times you stray from the path. You are defined by the grace with which you return. Action for today. If you feel off track, pause. Take 3 mindful breaths. Remind yourself of your intention, and with a gentle heart, take 1 small step forward. That is all it takes to return. Conclusion. Life will always bring its share of challenges, distractions, and unexpected turns. But remember, your true power lies not in trying to control every storm, but in how you choose to meet each moment. The teachings we've explored today remind us that transformation is not found in grand gestures or perfect moments. It is built quietly through the small steps you take, the consistency you cultivate, and the compassion you show yourself along the way. You don't need to wait for the perfect day or a perfect version of yourself to begin. The path of growth and awakening is always here,